Men are sick of modern women, and this is why. Don't get mad at me, I'm just the messenger. You do not complement that man's life, you complicate it. Men already have to go into the world, in their workplace, around other men. They have to compete 24/7. In order to be considered a high quality man, you have to be competitive. He deals with all of that in the world already, and then he comes home to you, and you want to compete with him more. Reason number 2, there's no clear win for them. You want them to be strong, not dominant though. Be sensitive, but don't be weak. Lead, but don't control me. Provide, but don't be transactional towards me. These men have no clear way to win a situation with most of you women. They become fatigued, and that's why they give up on you. You're then a reflection of the confusion they already feel in the world. Men do not get to be held to the same standard as women. They don't get to show their emotions freely and still be seen as strong. They're damned if they do, damned if they don't.
They're going to criticize her, no question about it, but that doesn't change the pattern. Stay grounded and keep your composure, because most men have already made their decision and quietly moved on. Once that switch flips, there's no real incentive to revisit what already proved unstable.
If a man is trying to please a woman, a man will lose his mind trying to deal with that, because women ultimately don't even know what they want. And because women are so emotional, it don't matter what you did, all the way up until the moment she's mad. When she's mad, she'll destroy everything because she didn't get her way in these 5 minutes.
I would say things like, just leave me alone. And then he'd actually leave, and then I would get mad because he left, even though that's what I told him to do, but I really meant that I didn't want him to leave. And now he's confused and I'm angry. I finally realized that men can't hear emotion, they can only hear words. You can't say one thing and then mean another and then blame the man. That's on us.
At this point, you're watching a grown woman expect a man to read her mind without ever saying what she actually means. Men should be deliberate about who they allow into their lives, because confusion isn't accidental. It's often the system. Clarity is rare these days, and that alone should tell you everything you need to know.
I told you, guys are tired. Guys are tired of you. They're tired of you pretending to want to take them seriously when you really just want the free drinks. They're tired of going up to you and you being like, thanks for the drink, doing this game you do. Tired. They're tired of the takers. They're tired. They don't want to deal with any of that. They're tired of, you meet all of these qualifications, right? You got all the qualifications, and she's talking to you and she's like, oh, but, there's this one thing. He has a boat and it's red and I don't like the color red. Oh. Right? Because they feel like they can be so picky that they've got everything met, but they can just nitpick about everything, right? They're tired of you. You want guys to come up to you, change your attitude, change your strategy, treat them differently, and that's going to have to happen over a long period of time, right? It took decades to get here. Guys finally saying, I am done with you. And social media played a big part, because now they go on socials and they see women talking all their crap, so they're like, oh, I know what's going on now behind the scenes. When I walk away after buying you that drink, I know you're making a fool out of me. They're like, I'm done. You're gonna make a fool out of me? Honey, now I'm gonna make a fool out of you. I'm gonna sit at that bar, I'm gonna drink my scotch, I'm not buying you nothing, I'm not even looking your way. That's what's going on. Change your attitude. It's gonna take a long time for guys to feel like you've changed genuinely, and then you'll see. But for now, especially in the cities, guys are just sitting back with their drink, and they're just letting this drama unfold. It's hilarious. It's like, they're frazzled cats. Frazzled cats. Ooh, very entertaining.
A lot of men have started looking elsewhere, not out of desperation, but out of preference for peace and respect. And even then, that decision is met with criticism from the same people who made the alternative unappealing. When you remove yourself from dysfunction, it tends to expose who benefited from it.
There's women out there that will walk away from a good man talking about, oh, he wanted to go half on rent. He wanted to go half on...
Facts.
Like, that is... You know how fatuous and inane that is to say he wanted to go half? First of all, you are responsible for 100% of your life as an adult. 100% of your problems, 100% of your bills, 100% of your stress, and you mean to tell me you had a man right there like, I'll take half of that from you. And you was like, that ain't good enough.
Right.
Damn.
I want you to take it all. I don't want to have no responsibility as an adult. And that is financial abuse, and that is feminine manipulation and abuse. So then, fellas, you need to walk away.
Contributing half has always made more sense than carrying everything alone. Yet the expectation has shifted in a different direction. What you're seeing now is a dynamic where support is demanded without anything substantial being offered in return. And when imbalance becomes the standard, men eventually stop volunteering for it.
I agree with you that men built the system. Men built the entire infrastructure that allows all of us, including men, but especially including women, to have the most comfortable and prosperous and healthy lives that has ever existed in all of human history. And the complete ungratefulness of women.
Oh my God, you...
I'm not being ridiculous. You women hate... At no other point in human history have women had so much contempt and hatred and disdain for men when it is due to men's genius and ingenuity and labor and physicality that has enabled women to live the most comfortable lives they've ever been able to live. And there's a bottleneck to every cascading invention due to men's increased physical. Look, I know this sounds crazy.
Oh, it is.
In order to live in a skyscraper, there were cascading previous inventions that were necessitated on male strength that women don't possess, that enabled us to build buildings far into the sky for you to live in comfortable, air-conditioned, not just live, but to have a job in a comfortable, air-conditioned office. All of these comforts, it wasn't the evil patriarchy, it was benevolent men. It was typically often like poor men who labored and built this country, and you guys don't give a fuck. You don't care. It's through men's sacrifice, men's labor.
Oh my God.
Men's genius, ingenuity.
Okay, so can I just please stop? This is like really starting to make me uncomfortable.
Every time accountability shows up, it suddenly becomes crazy or unfair, and the conversation goes nowhere. Trying to reason in that environment is like speaking into something that was never meant to respond. At some point, you realize your time is better spent where understanding doesn't need to be forced.
Women these days are looking for a come up. They're looking for somebody to save them. They're looking for their next thing. When you really unpack what's going on right now in society, a lot of women are bums because they choose to look. Listen, I ain't gonna sugarcoat. I'm not sugarcoating shit. A lot of women are bums, and you have high standards with low quality in yourself. You want a man to have 6 figures. You want a man to take care of you, pay all your bills. You want a man to do this, that, and the third. Elevate your life. But you can't do that for yourself. So why is a man going to invest that into you when you don't even do that for yourself?
There's a growing expectation for men to carry financial, emotional, and social burdens without any real balance on the other side. At a certain point, men stop asking why things feel off and start acting accordingly. And once that awareness sets in, the old expectations lose their leverage.
My oldest son got married. He was a millennial. And he married a woman with 2 kids. This woman was so cold-hearted that while my son was dying in the hospital on life support, she was cheating on him with another man. Single moms are cold-hearted as fuck. Stay away from them at all costs.
Listen to Pops on the Move, yo. Pops on the Move, he be spitting game. Real talk. Like, y'all listen to that man. He got some knowledge, man. He's coming from experience from his personal life, okay? Experience from his personal life. Like, we all had felt this evil spirit about them, you know? Something about them that they do to every last one of us have experienced the evilness of women. Every last one of us men have experienced it. And if you haven't, man, you must live under a rock, bro. Like you live somewhere where there ain't no women. And if you haven't experienced the evilness, man, you are that 1%, man. I ain't gonna hold you, man. Hold that power and try to keep that peace. Cause, whew, us 99%, we ain't having it, bro. We tired. See, we falling asleep in the car type joint. That's how tired we are. We falling asleep in the car like that, sideways, sitting sideways, boys in the days. You feel me? Like that, just.
This situation isn't rare. It's familiar to more men than people want to admit. Entering into complex situations without clear benefit is no longer seen as noble. It's seen as unnecessary risk. Men are learning that not every responsibility placed in front of them is one they have to accept. If the message hit, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.